Pennzoil at the half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome to Pennzoil at the half, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg and Dean Smith. 20 minutes of play gone by. Utah 29, Arizona 20. The Arizona Wildcats, a team that averaged 92 points a game during the season. They average a point a minute in the first half. I know you didn't expect this. I just know it.
You couldn't wait to tee me up like that, could you? Nonetheless, excellent execution of the game plan by Utah. Tremendous job defensively. I think Arizona's panicked a little bit. They're looking to try to do too much too soon. They've got to tone their pace down a little bit and do a better job, I think, of trying to drive the ball instead of settling for jump shots in the second half.
What did you see happening in the first half?
I agree totally with Clark and the fact that they were in a hurry to get a shot like they were down in 5 minutes to play. But defensively, Arizona must keep the ball out of Miller's hands. He really makes things happen.
Mike Bibby and Miles Simon have combined for 6 points. Andre Miller has outscored them both. He has 8 so far. The East Regional Final between UConn and North Carolina is set to tip off at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. For a report on that game, Sean McDonough and Bill Raftery in Greensboro.
Greensboro Coliseum is virtually empty now, but at 6 Eastern Time, it will be packed with more than 23,000 fans, most of them cheering for North Carolina as the Tar Heels take on Connecticut. Sean McDonough with Bill Raftery. Tonight, North Carolina tries to make it back to the Final Four for the 5th time in the 90s. Connecticut still trying to make it there for the first time.
Well, Sean, we both know it's going to be a fast-paced game, fun to watch, but I think it's essential, the shot selection, when they take it and what type of shot they take.
Both teams have had some close calls on the road to the Elite Eight, particularly Connecticut, and Richard Hamilton has been their hero. The Big East Player of the Year, even better in the 3 NCAA victories, averaging 25 points per game. He's hit some very big shots.
When they need a big one, they usually run this little high pick, and he spreads out to the corner, knocks it down. The first buzzer beater of his career against Washington. Look how he hangs tough here, Sean. The follow-through, the concentration, even as he hits the deck.
That victory sent the Huskies to the Elite Eight for the 4th time in school history, the 3rd time under Jim Calhoun.
What I'd like to get there, there's nobody in any profession who doesn't want to win a Pulitzer Prize or Academy Award or get to the Final Four. That would be very nice if it happens, but I don't think I'd ever feel shallow or ever feel empty because it didn't happen.
Will this be the year Connecticut makes it to the Final Four? We'll find out at 6 Eastern Time as the Huskies take on North Carolina.
And, Coach, what does North Carolina have to deal with in the Huskies?
Well, I think Connecticut does a great job with their press, and their full-court press. North Carolina's handled press as well, but not as good as Connecticut. And, of course, if you do get by, that frees Jamison at the other end. So it'll be interesting how the press offense works for North Carolina.
Clark.
I think UConn has to deal with that superb threesome of Jamison, Carter, and Williams. They have to contain those guys, and then they've got to knock down some perimeter shots today.
All right, guys, through the first 3 games of the Pennzoil at the half, coming up, Gus Johnson and John Sunvold courtside for the second half of the West Regional Final between Utah and Arizona when we continue in just a moment.
Pennzoil at the half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Davison with the board. Tibby almost doubled. He wanted to throw the lob to Dickerson. Tibby inside. Dickerson, 1 of 6 in the first half. Making 1 of 7.
And he's getting the shot that he wants and the coaching staff wants. That time they could have. Oh, what a pass.
Somehow he was all alone.
Well, he outran everybody. Nobody turned around to help out Davison.
He has 6 points, 31 to 20. Arizona, a team that averages 91 points per game.
Somebody give Simon or Bibby an on-the-ball screen.
Bramlett. He's fouled.
Andre Miller, head up, eyes up, and Metala gets by everybody. He outruns Davison, but surprisingly, none of the Wildcats picked him up. Always have to recognize where the ball is.
Goliath picks up his first. Their last meeting right here at the Anaheim Pond. Arizona overcame an 11-point deficit and came back to win it.
In that ball game, they had a 20-3 run in the second half. And Rick Majerus said, basically, we weren't able to handle that then, but I think our players are more mature now. -1, Keith Van Horn from a year ago.
Andre Miller also saying that he was a bit out of shape and not ready to handle a great guard from Arizona. They took advantage of it.
Arizona was 3 of 6 from the foul line, Gus, in the first half. They averaged almost 24 free throw attempts a ball game. So only 6 attempts that first half.
10-point lead for the Utes. Opening moments of the second half. The winner moves on to San Antonio. The Final Four. Miller. Metala. Got it.
Good screen by Doliak to free up Miller. Then made a good pass cross court.
Bibby around the screen, and he's fouled by Drew Hansen.
See more movement of the Wildcats on the offensive end.
And that is Drew's third foul. Bibby with the inbound pass. Simon, only 1 point in the first half. Back to Bramlett, drop step, great play.
Bramlett simply reestablished himself in the low block. Give Miles Simon credit for being patient enough to wait for his big man to get set.
He has 9. 33-23, and Bibby trying to come up with the steal. Knocks it out of bounds.
Rick Majerus has put in a plan on their early offense. They have 4 players on the outside, and they put Doliak in the inside. Gives Doliak much more freedom to work, try to establish himself in the low post.
Double team it on the sideline. Hansen dribbles out of it to Miller. Kicks it out. Dickerson trying to find his stroke game. This time he does. For 2.
And Dickerson has been able in some games this year to have big second halves. At UCLA, when they were down most of that ball game by as many as 14 points, Dickerson ended up with 22 that second half, 30 on the ball game.
Here comes the press. Metala backs it up and finds a guard.
Easily handled, but Arizona only had 3 guys up front and not 4. Had 2 men back defensively.
Jensen on the wing. Miller knocked away by Mike Bibby.
Rick Majerus' ball club is making the Wildcats play defense for lots of periods of time on the defensive end. They're making hard cuts.
And they turn it over on the baseline. Miller stepping on the baseline. 8th turnover of the game for Utah.
Take a look as he wants to throw it in, had nobody there. Arizona had sealed all the avenues.
8 turnovers for the Utes, 7 for Arizona. Davison inbounding with Bibby, Simon, and Dickerson in the backcourt. Bramlett and Davison in the front court.
Still in the triangle on 2.
Davison. Andre Miller with the rebound. Weaving his way down the court. Inside, tipped in by Metala. He's having a big game.
Great ball game.
Dickerson the other way, rejected by Miller. On both ends of the floor. Down the lane. And a foul.
Andre Miller doing it all. Goes through the hole. Look at the attention he draws. 3 white shirts. And allows Metala to sneak inside. Now Miller gets back defensively. Remember, he was on the offensive end. He beats everybody down back defensively. He makes a block on Dickerson.
Andre Miller out of Bourbon Day High School in Los Angeles. Some great players coming out of there. David Greenwood, Roy Hamilton, and now Miller. And he is a Proposition 48 student, but is scheduled to graduate in 4 years. So for the second year, they've listed him as a junior. He can come back next year and play. Doliak, rebound and stick back.
Simply took the ball away from Davison.
Right now, Utah wants it more. 38-25, Bibby. The ball just not dropping for the Wildcats.
And one shot and out for Arizona. Utah, the best rebounding team in college basketball.
And the Utes come back and remain patient on offense. Inside, Jensen.
This is a clinic on the offensive end.
They look like Princeton.
Yeah, they're passing, they're cutting, sharing the basketball. Arizona's confused.
Dickerson. Bibby, quick shot. Bramlett lost it, picked up by guess who, Miller. The other way, straight to the hole.
They have Arizona scrambling. Intention wide open inside. Andre Miller, you talk about confidence. This is 1-on-4. He decides that he can get in there with his strength. Almost knocks it in.
His coach said that the guy he's checking today, Mike Bibby, is the best point guard. But Andre is making a case, 9 points, 9 rebounds. He may have a chat with the coach after this game if they're successful. Bramlett fouled Miller, and he picks up his 4th foul. Andre Miller, second one is good. Surprise, surprise. 41-25.
Basketball championship is sponsored by Chevrolet Trucks, Dean Witter, RCA, and by Enterprise.
All right, cardio and functional vision.
50-33, Utah leading Arizona, 10:37 remaining in the second half. 10:37 standing in the way of the Utes and the Final Four.
Well, they've done the things they wanted to defensively, and offensively they've shot about 49%. Their execution has been brilliant. The pressure has not bothered them yet.
Britt Johnson, the freshman, trying to get it over the line, and he does.
Boy, that was a 10-second count.
Must have been 9.5. Jensen.
Now you keep your spacing, keep the ball movement, and search for Goliak as he moves inside.
Jackson for 3. Rebounded inside by Davison. See if Arizona can go on a run here. Dickerson. Davison. Looks backside. Bramlett up and a foul.
Good foul by Jensen. A.J. Bramlett has it easy too. Frustrated by the rotation in himself, but that's a good foul. Put Bramlett on the free throw line.
Arizona 5 of 12 from the line today. A.J. Bramlett is 1 of 2. Bramlett missing the first one.
Or 2 of 7 this second half of the foul line. It has been a struggle for this Wildcat team.
Michael Goliak sits down. He's got 9 points and 10 rebounds.
And Rick Majerus continues to rotate bodies in and out.
Second one good for Bramlett. And they get into the full court press. Bibby sits down for a quick blow. And Simon back in. Ball knocked out of bounds by Terry.
Gus, the thing about this pressure, Utah, they have such tall bodies. They become more visible when you're searching for a guy to throw it to. You can throw it up high. They've got a guy like Johnson who's 6'9". He can handle the ball through it. It's in Miller's hands. They're real confident with the ball.
Over the line. Johnson. Metala.
Again, look how open the basket area is when they make cuts.
Johnson to the hole, and And he's fouled by Davison. But you just talked about it. Britt Johnson can get to the basket.
He can put it on the floor. This freshman is terrific with the ball, and Davison allows him to go by. That looks like a pretty clean block, but again, the basket area wide open. No help from any weak side Arizona players. Utah taking advantage.
And Johnson gets the first one to go. He missed 8 weeks with patella tendonitis in his left knee. A McDonald's All-American. Second one is short. Rebounded by Davison. 51 to 34, under 10 to go. Terry lost an edge inside. Dickerson, nice look.
That's what they should do off the dribble. Make Utah collapse in the middle and help out.
Miller double team, cross court, Hansen. Drive, baseline, bobbled up in a blocking foul against Terry.
We've seen Michael Dickerson, the whole ball. He loves to go to his right hand. You need to force him to his left because he's explosive that way. The dump off, the easy finish by Davison. The easiest they've had all ball game. Good pass, good finish.
15 foul against Arizona, second on Terry. And Doliak returns. Britton Johnson. Methala sits down. Britt Johnson, Jensen, Hansen, Doliak. And Miller on the court for Utah.
Spacing, body movement, ball movement.
Offensive foul against Miller.
Jason Terry in. Boy, they're allowed to step.
Third foul on Andre Miller. 51-36. So if you're Arizona, with this deficit, how do you attack it?
Well, they've attacked it all right. They just haven't made shots. You continue to miss. You're not going to win the ball game.
Where do you want to be, though, at what time on the clock to make a run back?
Well, you'd like to start it now. 8:30 left in the ball game, and Utah has to continue to play to win and not to lose at this point. Good save, good play by Miller. Rick Majerus's ball club still wants to take opportunities, Gus, but you still spread the floor out. This was an early shot, not probably a good one. Spread the floor out, keep moving, use Doliak in the inside, make this Wildcat team play defense, because that is wearing them down. Take a look as the defense wears down. If the basket area becomes open, it's an advantage to the offensive player like that. Defender gets tired, the legs get sore. Miller takes it right off the dribble.
12 points for Andre Miller, 53-36 Utah. Dickerson on the baseline.
And Utah is as tired on the defensive end, Gus, but Arizona hasn't made any shots against it.
Dickerson, let it go. Inside, out of bounds, Utah ball. So the Utes taking it strong to the basket. 7:39 away from San Antonio. The field goal shooting for Arizona, 29%, 48% shooting for Utah. That's been the huge difference. And Arizona 2 of 15 from the three-point line.
And the points in the paint, the bottom line is Utah has run effective offensively. Arizona's wearing down with their legs. Then they use you to take it off the dribble or pass it inside. They're getting good looks right at the rim.
Michael Doliak with 9 points. And the ball kicked out of bounds. There's the father of Michael Doliak, Bill Doliak. Hansen. Up top, Jackson. Doliak, great catch to save it from going out of bounds.
He has the best hands of any big man in college ball.
like a shortstop scooping that one up. Miller off the dribble again to the bucket, and a finger roll is good.
Time and time again, this Ute team, especially Miller, has been able to break down the defense just by the dribble.
14 points for Miller, along with 9 rebounds. Inside, Bramlett blocked. Picked up by Miller. The push. And a foul. Terry again.
Frustration has set in now for the Wildcats. They're playing solid defense, but look at the weak side help. It's not there. Miller gets all the way. It's late. Bramlett's late. Davison is late. He beats Terry off the dribble. Now Terry trying to contain him, and there's the blocking, and Andre Miller has just taken charge of this ballgame.
The Arizona Wildcats, the defending national champions, trying to become the first team since Duke in 91 and 92 to repeat, but they have a mountain to climb with 6:49 to go, down 55-36. Lob pass, Goliak got it back, up and in, and the foul. That guy's got hands. Watch this catch.
Up high, now he gets it back, goes up, draws contact. And when you're ahead, you have much more energy, Gus, than when you're down on the scoreboard.
So Michael Goliak at the line to complete the three-point play, and he does. Utah, they're high-fiving in the stands right now, 6:40 away from a trip to the Final Four.
And Lute Olson has gone to the smallest lineup he can put on the floor. Bibby, Terry, Simon, got Bramlett inside, and also Dickerson on the outside. A four-guard offense.
Simon, baseline. Up, blocked from behind, and he's fouled.
They're trying to draw Goliak away from the hoop. Penetration. Watch Hansen with the reach. Drew did not like that call.
Fourth foul on Drew Hansen. Miles Simon, 2 of 10 from the... Make it 1 of 7 from the field, 3 of 7 from the free throw line. 5 points today, 17 on the season. Second is good.
It's so difficult to get back in this ball game because of the spacing Utah has had both against the press and in their half-court offense.
And a 5-second count against the Utes. That's the freshman, Britton Johnson, inbounding the ball. Dickerson, Terry for 3. Got it.
Here they come.
Here they come. Let's see. Johnson again, confused. Miller spins out of it. Nice look. Goliak flushes. And here they come. 60-41. Dickerson, baseline, and he's fouled.
The key, Andre Miller frees himself up to spin, and now it's simply 2-on-1. Let the defense come to you, then make the pass an easy finish. Again, the good catch, but the pass right on the money.
So Dickerson at the line. And Andre Miller, his coach said Mike Bibby was the best point guard in the country. He has answered, folks, with a triple-double. 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists.
Well, how valuable he was in that win against Arkansas. All the pressure. He had only 3 turnovers. He had 28 points and 7 rebounds. They want it in his hand.
60-43. Utes, 6:03 to go. Dangerous pass, but Miller was there. No looker, Jensen! And he got the ball. It's all falling in for Utah. They're shooting 52%. Terry crossover. But it won't go down for Arizona. 44-18 points in the paint.
Make the Wildcats play defense. Wear their legs down, then when you want to make a hard cut, you make it the basket area. Keep it free. Miller. A whistle. This is what George Carl, they were working on last night. Get Doliak up, throw it over the top so that Miller has the ball at the free throw line. Then the break, 2-on-1. Let your point guard make the decision at the end, and he has been right on target all afternoon.
And after the game on Thursday night, we saw George Carl and Coach Majerus at dinner, and you should have seen the two of them talking. I mean, it was the most intense dinner conversation I've seen. Majerus had a notebook, and he must have had 50 plays in that notebook, all given to him by George Carl, or they were discussing them together.
And Rick Majerus said, I'm going to go home and watch video till about 4:30 in the morning, then get about 3 or 4 hours of sleep and back up, watch it again. What a game plan he has prepared for his team, and the players have executed, Gus. Defensively, the triangle 2 has confused this Wildcat team and worn out Bibby and Simon on the offensive end.
And speaking of worn out, Andre Miller is wearing out Arizona 64-43. Andre with 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists. Simon, and another rebound by Miller.
The issue's being forced now by Arizona.
Miller again down the lane. Good.
Gus Miller won't back off.
No, sir.
He is not playing to lose. He is playing to win.
Jason Terry, though, with the 3. Under 5 minutes remaining.
Boy, Arizona looks tired. Their hands are on their hips.
Miller lobs it into the front court. Hanson. And they get it back to their pressure guy, Andre Miller.
And Utah very good when they have leads. They shoot nearly 74% from the foul line. Protect the ball, no turnover. Make Arizona chase.
Jackson inside. Bibby, quick release. And it's picked up by Terry. Mike Bibby, 2 of 11. In the corner, 2 of 12. And another rebound, Andre Miller.
Well, we have some tired bodies. Drew Hansen wants out of this ball game. Jensen is tired. Their defense has been outstanding. They need a break. Look at Andre Miller. Can barely keep himself up. Can barely keep himself up as he goes to the sideline. But Andre Miller has made great decisions in the open court with the basketball. This one in traffic, the little floater, the touch over the rim.
Don't forget, coming up, UConn and North Carolina in Greensboro, the #1 seed against the #2 seed. Rip Hamilton and company with a dramatic win over Washington at the buzzer. Can they keep it going against North Carolina?
Can they get their energy going against North Carolina? Carter Jamison outstanding. Shimon Williams just shooting lights out. So Jim Calhoun has to be ready.
4 minutes to go, 66-46 Utah.
Utah team that does not make many mistakes when they have the basketball. Solid passing.
Doliak steps out, showing the range, and he got it. What can he do? Catch, rebound, shoot, jump shot, 16 points. Doliak commits the foul on the baseline. Rick Majerus has never advanced to the Final Four. Last year, they were taken care of in the West Regional Championship by Kentucky 72-59 in San Jose.
Ron Mercer put on a show that ball game, had 21. Lost to Kentucky the year before in the Sweet 16. Boy, what a struggle it's been for Arizona at the foul line. Only 10 of 19.
The Wildcats, after winning the national championship in Indianapolis last year, the favorites to repeat. They had everybody coming back.
After starting 7-3 this season, they won 19 games in a row, 21 of their last 22, but this Utah squad had a strategy, and it has worked so far.
Jackson.
Good decision.
And they continue to milk the clock.
And make the Wildcats chase and wear down, and you'll get good shots.
Jackson inside! And I think the Utah Utes have broken the spirit of this Arizona squad, 70-46. Simon lost it. And Jitson with the board.
Wildcats are dead tired. Jason Terry grabbing his shorts. Bibby grabbing his shirt. What a performance by Andre Miller, Mike Doliak, and the rest of this Ute squad. Now it's simply keep away. Again, you will shoot layups and free throws. Andre Miller, 18 points. This is his 13th assist. The easy pass, nobody there defensively. Take a look at the excitement. Raise the roof, says Hal Metala. Boy, look how tired Andre Miller is.
And there's Andre Miller's mom. Andrea Robinson looking on.
Look at the smile.
Follows her son wherever they play in the NCAA. Rode a bus to Dallas last year to see him play. And the smiles on the Utah bench and the sadness on the bench of Arizona. Second free throw good. 2:34 to go in the second. Utah on top, 72-46. Alamo Dome in San Antonio. This is where the Utes are trying to get as they look to become the first team to advance to the Final Four. And with 2 minutes and 34 seconds remaining, Rick Majerus is trying to guide this Utah team into the Final Four for the first time since 1966. Mike Bibby, Terry, quick three. And Goliak with the rebound.
And again, one shot and out this Utah team.
Jackson in the front court, wisely backs it out and milks the clock.
Good decision, get in Miller's hands, now play keep away. And Goliak is one of the best free throw shooters. He's a great big man. You throw it up high, he can catch it. He loves to get fouled.
Don't forget, coming up, North Carolina, the #1 seed in the East against UConn, seeded #2. 6 o'clock Eastern time. 2:11 remaining. And David Jackson, the sophomore for Portland, Oregon, at the line. Rick Majerus. There's been talk about this being his last season at Utah, playing with 10 freshmen and sophomores. They've mentioned Arizona State as a possible site for Coach Majerus. And the statistic of the game, field goal percentage, Arizona, 28%, 54% shooting for Utah. Coach Olsen told Armin Katayan they needed to start hitting shots, have not been able to do it.
And this is the third most offensive team in the country at 82 points a ball game. And they're sitting at 47 with 2 minutes left. It's amazing. Did not shoot the ball well. We talked about they've only had 2 games under 40% all year. They've only had 8 under 45%.
And don't forget, once again, coming up next, North Carolina and UConn. So what does this do with Utah advancing to the Final Four. A lot of people thought that Arizona was the favorite to repeat with Utah in there.
Seems to throw a lot of wrinkles in all the brackets that everybody's filling out, guys. But Utah brings size, they bring discipline, they're an outstanding rebounding unit. They play great man-to-man defense today. We saw triangle and two, but what they do well. They know what they don't do well. They stay away from a lot of things, but they've handled pressure well from every team in this tournament. They've rebounded well. They put the ball in the hands of Miller or Goliak, their stars, and they've delivered for them.
Mike Bibby, 75-49, and a 20-second timeout called by Utes.
They often talk about guards, and there's Andre Miller. How valuable it is in a triple-double, 18 points, 14 rebounds, and 13 assists. You have a lead guard that can do that and break people down. He's 6'2", about 200 pounds. He's physical enough and strong enough to do those things. You have a center like Michael Goliak at 6'11" that plays inside. He goes outside, knocks in free throws. Well-coached ball club. They have been outstanding today. Just a great game plan, and they all executed it well.
Now tomorrow in the Midwest region, Rhode Island, who took care of Valpo, takes on Stanford. Those two teams have met before. A one-point win for the Cardinals. Into the front court, Hansen. Then there is Duke and Kentucky as well.
And Kentucky has had average victories by over 21 points in the NCAA tournament.
In the South, Duke and Kentucky. Duke beating Syracuse. And I don't think there's a team playing better basketball in the country right now than the Kentucky Wildcats under Tubby Smith.
And it's been Kentucky's depth that's wore people down. But Duke has enough bodies, and their freshmen were outstanding last night. Battier, Brand, and Avery, terrific last night. They have enough depth. We'll see. That should be a terrific matchup.
Miles Simon, what a great college career the senior has had. MVP of the Final Four last year. And Miles Simon checks out of the game. And a standing ovation given to Simon by the Arizona fans. There's his dad, Walt. Bramlett comes out. Dickerson also comes out. Ludolson allowing some of the substitutes to get an opportunity to play.
Miles Simon and Michael Dickerson both had their uniforms retired on senior night. Tough way to end, but they won a national championship a year ago, had a great run this season. Over 500 points, Dickerson, Simon, and Bibby. The last time that was done was Sean Elliott, Tolbert, and Anthony Cook. Tough afternoon, though.
1:38 to go. Utah 76, Arizona 49. And another rebound. Andre Miller foul. Coming up on the road to the Final Four show, Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, and Dean Smith will preview and analyze the East Regional Final between Connecticut and North Carolina. Plus, we'll have post-game celebration and interviews from this game. That's coming up on the road to the Final Four. And the East Regional. North Carolina, the #1 seed, against Connecticut, the #2 seed. 6 o'clock, that game tips off. Andre Miller. What a story. Proposition 48. And Miller said that the only team that recruited him, the only team that stayed with him, was Utah. Jensen checking out of the game. Asked if the Wildcats recruited him, he said no. Coach Majera stuck with me. And now he's graduating in 4 years and has an additional year to play.
And what a ball game this afternoon. This Utah team, outstanding coaching by Rick Majerus, a triangle and two, but the work by Miller and defensively by Hansen and Jensen to chase Simon, to chase Bibby, all around all game long, to give yourself up, to sacrifice, go through the screens and do all that. They wore down the quicker Arizona unit.
second one is good. Coming up next, it's North Carolina and UConn in the East, tipping off at 6 o'clock. 1 minute, 22 seconds to go here. 76-51. Arizona will not foul anymore. Mettola over the line, and he's had a sensational game for the Utes.
Yeah, they were tentative. We talked about it Thursday night against West Virginia. They were tentative ball club. They didn't shoot well, except Doliak was the only aggressive one. Andre Miller a little bit, but everybody came ready to play this afternoon. And they are heading to San Antonio.
Miller, the star of this game, along with this man, Doliak, pulling up. 45 to go. Bibby, Mettola with the rebound. The Utah Utes out of the WAC, the third seed, have pulled off the upset over number 1 seeded Arizona.
They lost Keith Van Horn. How many people thought they would be here today?
Only 3 losses for the Utes this year. New Mexico, Wyoming, and UNLV, and their season continues. 6 seconds to go. .9 remaining. And that is it. The Utah Utes are headed for San Antonio, the Final Four for the first time since 1966. And a great season has come to an end for Arizona. Here's Armin Catan.
Coach Olsen, a great 2-year run, but it ended today.
Yeah, it did. We got beat every way you could get beat. Got beat. When they had free throws, they knocked them down. When they had looks, they knocked them down. I thought we got great looks all day long, and you've got to make shots. They handled the pressure, I thought, very well. Hurt us on the pressure, but yet the way things were going, we really didn't have much choice other than to try to get the tempo picked up. Utah played great, though. On this day, if we shoot the ball the way we shot it, obviously what they did helped, too.
Thank you very much. Back to you, guys.
The final score, 76-51. Utah advances to the Final Four, knocking off the top-seeded Arizona Wildcats. And the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game, Andre Miller, a triple-double. And Jason Terry, 16 points for Arizona. So Utah heads for San Antonio. They're the first. Greg Gumbel will join you from New York after this.
Welcome, everyone, to the road to the Final Four. Greg Gumbel joined by Clark Kellogg and the coach, Dean Smith. We already have one team headed for the Alamo Dome. Who will the second team in be? Our second regional final tips at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. East second seed UConn faces top seed and home state favorite North Carolina in Greensboro. For UConn, sophomore Richard Hamilton has been sensational, beating the buzzer as well as opponents. He's averaging 25 points a game in this tournament. But North Carolina's Antoine Jamison has held court in the tournament as well, averaging about 19 points and 13 rebounds for the Tar Heels. That's coming up, and out on the heels of what we just saw out in Anaheim, the final. Utah 76, Arizona 51. It's like Night of the Living Dead in here. We can't figure out what happened. What happened?
Andre Miller, Rick Majerus, and friends, because they really did a job. And certainly, I don't think anyone expected the margin, but as Lute Olson said, they probably started gambling to get back.
You know, we're sitting here, we're stunned. Clark is absolutely comatose. He can't
they
believe
got to reel me back in. I mean, it's unbelievable. An ambush in Anaheim is what that was today. Great job by Utah.
Well, you mentioned Andre Miller, Coach. 18 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, a terrific triple-double for a young man who led Utah to an upset victory over the Arizona Wildcats. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll send you out to Anaheim and hear from the winners as we continue in just a moment. The Utes of Utah, third seed in the West, doing the WAC proud. 76-51 winners over Arizona. Let's take you back out to Anaheim, where Gus Johnson is standing by with a very happy head coach of Utah. Gus.
Thanks, Greg. Tremendous win for your squad.
I'm so proud of these guys and so happy for them. I mean, what an unbelievable achievement. I thought they beat up today. They rebounded. They were mentally sharp. I thought they played their best game of the year, as they should this time of year, as though you would want. But what a sensational effort on their part. I love the way they hustled on D. They got to the long rebounds, and they executed perfectly. It was just a sensational team effort, and top to bottom, everyone was involved. It's just a shame everyone couldn't have scored a basket.
How about tearing that net down? Must have been a good feeling.
It was great. I mean, I don't think I'll ever go to another Final Four. You know, I've never been to one other than when McGuire is an assistant. But, you know, I learned this triangle and two from Al. I apprenticed under him and Hank Raymond's, and it was really a ploy I'd been saving. I was pleased with their execution, but I tip my hat back to my old days at Marquette, and I thank everyone at Ball State who played for me, and of course working for Don Nelson in the pros along with Del Harris. And I was out with George Carl the other night, and he gave me a little bit of a tip, and we just put it all together. It was, I can't tell you how happy I am, how proud I am of these guys. These guys are student athletes. I mean, this is the most proud I've been. Keith Van Horn called me this morning, wished me good luck. It was really very touching on his part. I'm sorry, Keith, I couldn't get you here.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Gus, the elimination of Arizona means Duke remains the only school to repeat as national champion in the last 25 minutes. Back after this word from your local station.
Remember the Alamo Dome. Bring home the
North Carolina for the right to go to the Final Four. Sean McDonough and Bill Raftery will have the call from Greensboro. We'll see you at the half. Enjoy the action, everyone.
CBS Sports' exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Genuine Chevrolet, Taco Bell, Microsoft, and by Mobile.